Hello, people, and welcome to the Steve-O and Chlo show. Big up everybody for joining. Got two people in the building. I'm sure more people will be dropping by. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button today. Obviously, I've got Chloe and Latimus Prime
Big
here. We're
up,
gonna be
everyone.
talking about big up, big up. Hope y'all are doing well. It's not like I just spent 2 hours with you fuckheads, but anyways,
I
um,
think a nice thing to say.
yeah.
Also,
No,
sorry for
I
the absence in the last stream. I was asleep.
yeah. No, but big up Gladys, Prime, and Chloe. So yeah, we've got both of our clubs. To be fair, got two big games. Yours is obviously way bigger. There's something on the line. Arsenal, maybe we can get a point. Talk about that later. But yeah, Carabao Cup final. You guys taking on Liverpool at Wembley. Um, Liverpool, pretty big favorites. I would go
Hmm
60-40, 65-30 kind of Liverpool advantage. But I actually would no, I'd go 60-40 just because they do have quite a few injuries. I do think the likes of Salah,
That is
Nunez,
a point I want to make
those
in a
guys.
second.
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
My point is,
Go
obviously,
for it.
we've got them playing the whole, oh, we've got injuries, and you've got Chelsea going, well, we've got more injuries. We might have more injuries. However,
Mm.
Liverpool, in my opinion, have more injuries that affect their starting 11. Out of all the injuries we actually have, only one or two actually make our starting 11. And that's James and Badiashile. You could argue Kukurea as well, because there's a lot of people
I
out there
would
that don't
start
know Chilwell.
Cucurella. I think he's
Whereas Liverpool, they've got Jota, they've got, I think Salah's only just fit,
mhm.
Slobosly's unavailable. Allison doesn't play anyway in finals. I've never
In the
understood that.
Carabao Cup. No, just Carabao Cup final.
On
Allison.
FA Cup
I don't understand that. Why does he not play in that?
I
because
swear
Klopp
Allison played in the FA Cup.
wants to play a second string goalkeeper. But no, Chloe, you continue, and I'll refute what you're saying.
But why actually? Yeah, why does Allison not play in the Carabao Cup
Because
final?
Klopp plays a second string in the domestic cups.
It's the backup goalkeepers competition. That's what
Okay,
it is.
fair enough.
It's just a
But
manager. It's a man. You know what it is? It's good management actually, because it's making the second goalkeeper contribute to the team, and he is good enough to do that. He's a decent goalkeeper,
He's,
Kelleher.
oh
he's
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think
I've seen him play.
solid backup.
we think Kelleher is a bomb. But anyway, continue, Chloe.
But my point is, they have more starting 11 players injured, more important players like
Probably. Yeah.
who individually could make or break a game for them. However, they were the favourites in the first place. They're higher up in the league. They've had a better season than us. So I think, if anything, it makes it more even. I wouldn't say there is a favourite for this game.
So you agree with Andy minus the past an hour? Do you think it's 50-50?
Chelsea can't pass. That I said that. I think I commented that on Lewis's stream earlier. I don't think if we're gonna lose, it's going to be because we can't keep up with their intensity for 90 minutes, plus potentially extra,
Yeah.
unless we go 1-0 up, maybe. But then if we go 1-0 up, I'm relying on Poch's tactics and in-game management.
Ah,
I
relying on
won't be able to
Poch's
breathe
tactics.
until we're at least 6-0 up, basically. Which ain't
Relying on
gonna happen.
Poch's tactics. What she actually know. But yeah, Chloe. The reason why I disagree with you is you mentioned Allison. Yeah, he doesn't start Carabao or FA Cup games.
And Andy says
Um,
it. Yeah.
you said Salah, but Salah will be on the bench anyway. You said what? Diaz,
Jota.
Jota.
Diaz isn't out from what it says on here.
Who
Yeah,
else is in
Jota,
there? Who else
Slobosly,
is in there?
Nunez,
Like, yeah, fine, cool.
Trent.
When you
Trent.
look at cool, but when you look at the players we have out, Reece James, he's not a starter. He's been out injured all season anyway. So Gusto has been like our starting fullback. Badiashile, he's been out majority of the season anyway, so he has not been a starter for us this season. Um, Kukurea, he hasn't been our starter left back. It's been Colwell, and Chilwell's our vice captain. So when you look at the quote unquote injury we supposedly have, none of them are a big miss the actual 11 because Poch would not have even been starting them.
That's
Right.
what I said. That Liverpool have more starting 11 players that are injured.
But we don't. Yeah, but like I still expect Liverpool to be favourites and make their way through. They've got a
That's
better.
that's what I said. Liverpool are still. Like, obviously, I said that like more 50-50, but in terms, if we were just looking at injuries, then yeah, Liverpool are favourites.
Oh,
No,
and what did I
Oh.
hear? What did I hear?
no, I've just mixed that up.
Oh, okay. Because I thought I heard. Yeah. It's all
Yeah,
good.
Okay, well, hey, listen, whatever, man. Gallagher's a bum anyway.
Right, let's not talk
Don't
about
say
that.
the G
I
word.
can I just address this comment you've pulled up? Yes, I have been to watch Chelsea play.
No,
Hi,
Chelsea.
here.
No. I think he said has Chlo been Fulham?
Yeah, because
Like,
Chelsea's ground is in Fulham. It's not actually.
Oh,
in
I thought
Chelsea.
he meant. Have you been to Craven Cottage before?
Oh no! I think he means because Chelsea's actually in Fulham Broadway, not actually.
Yeah. Because obviously your Derby's
No,
Fulham.
the only plastic here allegedly is me because I haven't been to it again. But, you know.
I mean,
Fake
yeah.
fan. No.
Thought if like Kelleher would play final after.
I
Yeah,
heard
totally.
that. Sorry.
Kelleher.
No, he said Kelleher. How did Klopp said Kelleher would play? Yeah, but like even if Alisson was fit, Kelleher would still be playing the final.
Yeah, because he's a Carabao Cup guy.
Yeah, he's back up.
I respect that. To be fair,
Reece James, is he a player?
when Tuchel played our Carabao Cup
Oh, he's
guy,
just a
he
walking
fucking fought
injury.
it.
Listen, he plays for Fast Food FC, man.
By the way, here are the absences that I've found. You've got Wesley Fofana out, Reece James, Marco Correa, Thiago Silva, Sanchez, Ugochukwu, Berishia, Chukwuemeka Lavia. Liverpool, Alisson, Joel Matip, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Dominic Szoboszlai, Diogo Jota, Curtis Jones. Nunez and Salah are doubtful. I think they'll play. And Stefan Bajcetic, Ben Doak, and Thiago are out for Liverpool.
Oh wait. Oh no Trent.
No Trent.
Yeah, I said
Advantage
that.
Liverpool. Advantage Liverpool.
Because so Bradley will play. So here are the projected
You
11.
just know that Conor Bradley's going to be the star of the show.
He was very good against you guys, to be fair.
Yeah.
Hey, chill well. Be on job.
Yeah, Chelsea playing Fulham, not Chelsea. Fulham. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, projected 11 is, and let me know if you guys agree with this. If you change anything, it's saying Petrovic, back four of Gusto on the right, Disasi, Colwell, Chilwell.
Yeah.
Middle two, obviously Caicedo and Enzo. Cole Palmer on the right, Gallagher in the middle, Raheem Sterling left, Jackson up top.
Yeah, that's exactly. Well, actually, no, I actually put in Nkunku instead of Gallagher, but yeah.
What? Sorry,
Huh?
hold on.
Oh,
Hold the
this is
phone.
the
Hold on.
third time I've mentioned it.
Hold the phone. The Gallagher stand not wanting to play Gallagher.
Yeah, I literally said it. I said it to Steve on the phone.
He said it to me on the phone earlier this morning. Yeah.
Guys, Chloe ain't slick. If we lose, she's
No.
Let her
land. Let her land.
This is the thing, Prime. You have finally come across.
I'm trolling you.
Oh, I know. We know.
Let me talk. You have finally come across a player, Stan, who can appreciate when her player shouldn't play.
No, I'm just triggering you. I'm just trying to trigger you.
All right, well, let her spit.
I'm not one of them glue sniffers. I can appreciate when Gallagher's had a shit game, but I can still stand him at the same time.
Hey, glue smells nice, man.
Okay. Chloe, talk to me about your starting 11. Like what? So you'd play Nkunku over him, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Well, I just feel like when I've seen Gallagher play previously against Liverpool, he's not really contributed to the game enough. Where I feel like Nkunku brings us that more attacking force that I think we're going to need against Liverpool. We're going to need to get at least one goal first before they score. And I feel like Nkunku can definitely contribute to that more than Gallagher can.
Just against Liverpool, okay.
Just shut up. We're talking about Liverpool because it's the final.
No, I hear what you're saying. I think honestly, I think Poch should just play the same lineup. Don't really change it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
if there was a player you would take out, Sterling historically performs poorly against Liverpool.
Yeah, he does.
And I don't know what his record is like at Wembley in finals. I haven't looked that up, but if you're gonna put Nkuku in, it would be for Sterling. Gallagher, listen. I know I say a lot of truths about Gallagher that people don't want to listen to, but I will say this:
Go for it.
he is a Chelsea fan, allegedly. He loves this club. He wears the armband. And he did put in a disciplined performance. Chloe, I hope you're listening because I'm finally giving him some.
Yeah,
Because it seems whenever I give him prop, no one wants to clip that, but people will hate on me for the slander. But whatever. Big game. It's a final. He's Chelsea captain. He loves this club. Hopefully, he can follow in the footsteps of his idols, JT, Frank, etc., and perform at Wembley and help us lift this trophy. I really hope he's able to do that. If he's able to put in a masterclass and we win this final,
Yeah.
Salah. I won't say anything wild, but I'll just be like, thank you. Still have to go, but thank you.
So you want a Wembley record, yeah? So Sterling, this is for England, but he did start in the final against Italy. I don't remember him doing anything in that.
No, I'm talking about at club level.
Okay, yeah, but I was just saying Wembley in general. I don't think he did. What's it called? What's another Champions League final played for Man City? Oh wait, that's at what's its face? That wasn't at Wembley.
That was Porto.
Yeah, that's Porto. Let's see. I don't know. Just keep talking while I look.
Yeah.
All right. What are you most concerned about with Liverpool? Like on a real note, like what? Because here's the thing with Liverpool, they do have a lot of injuries, but for me, they keep on winning games somehow.
Because they've got a system in place that's been embedded in for years. They've got players who are used to that system. They've got a spine, and they've got a world-class manager. We don't have any of that.
Yeah.
I think if we set out a tactical plan, I trust our players to beat Liverpool. You've seen it in some of the games this season when we played bigger sides. These guys have raised their level and show that they can belong there. But I don't trust Poch to set up the plan and stick to it for the game. I make the correct changes in game to affect it. That's why I agree with Chloe saying that the longer the game goes on for, late in the second half or even extra time, that's when we will lose it. We have to win this game within 90 minutes or win it on penalties. I don't trust us to go into the extra time and Poch makes these changes and he just messes things up. We need to win this game. We're going to have chances. We need to bury them. Palmer, Jackson, Sterling, whoever the chances fall to, Gallagher, like the defense. Whoever the chances fall to, these guys need to put it away. It's not the time to be messing about. I trust us to sit and defend. Again, everything. If Poch does not set us up correctly, we could be 3-0 down in 30 minutes. It could get bad.
If Liverpool turn up as well. If Liverpool turn up, that's the thing. You can't perform poorly and have Liverpool at the top of their game. That's a recipe for, like you just said.
Exactly. People can say they're missing these players and stuff, which I agree. But the only big misses, in my opinion, is Trent and Salah. Maybe you could say Jota because he's a goal scorer, but Salah's world class. He will be on the bench. Trent is world class. I'm assuming.
You think he'll be on the bench? Yeah.
I'm assuming Trent and Salah will be on the bench.
Nunez too. Yeah.
When I look at the rest of the team, I look at the 11 they can possibly put out. I don't think that team is worse than ours. And they've also got and even if people want to say it is worse than ours, they've got the world-class manager. He should coach them. There should be no excuses from Liverpool's end. If you're playing against this Chelsea team that's very poor, and you just battered them in the last game.
Yeah.
And as good as Chelsea can be this season, against Liverpool, we were brilliant. We drew 1-1. Against City, we were brilliant. We drew 4-4. Against Arsenal, we were brilliant. We drew 2-2. We beat Spurs 4-1 because too many got sent off and Ange was stupid playing a high line. You played brilliantly against City. We drew 1-1. We beat a poor Villa side in a FA Cup replay. Like, that's not, we battered Middlesbrough, who were a injury-prone mid-table championship side. So, as great as our good performances have been this season, when you really analyze the context, like really delve into it, we haven't won all of these games. When I look at the City game, the 1-1, as poor as City were, Haaland still had 3 chances. If he scored one,
4.
Right. Well, he missed 3 chances. If Haaland had scored one in the, he missed 2 sitters in the first. If he'd scored one of those, it's 1-1 at halftime. The game changes. City could go on to win the game. If Haaland had scored one of his chances in the second half, that was before the Rodri goal, then who knows? With 20 minutes, 30 minutes to go, the game could change. They could win it. Maybe you can say I'm being a bit I'm being negative and everything, and I get that, but I've never been this worried going. I've never been worried going into a cup final. Even under Frank Lampard, I was confident we'd beat Arsenal. I've never been this worried, and that's because I just don't trust this manager at all. I really don't trust him. Even if we set up a game plan, I don't trust him to follow it through. And there's no real confidence anyone's giving me. People can talk about Liverpool's injuries; they've still got the better. Has the last 2 years of the Premier League not shown us that coaching makes a difference? Emery took a relegation-threatened Villa side to potentially finishing top 4 this season. Eddie Howe, I know Newcastle have been poor at parts this season, but he took a relegation, a Newcastle side that probably would have got relegated if not for the new owners, and he took them into the Champions League. Coaching matters. Like, Ange took a Spurs side that people thought would finish mid-table or be in a relegation battle, and they're challenging for, they're outside contenders for the league, but they're firmly in top 4, and they should finish top 4. Like, coaching matters so much. This team is not this bad, but the manager is making us look this bad. And I say this for all the players, by the way, even Gallagher that I speak about so much. With a better coach, you would see how good he is, because there's a reason why Klopp wanted him. There's a reason why Ange wants him. And if we rate those 2 coaches, we rate those 2 managers, then there's got to be some sort of a reason why.
Even if we personally don't see eye to eye with that evaluation.
Yeah, there's got to be. And I'm not saying Gallagher, like, under a different manager, will be some world beater, but you will get a tune. And there are players in the squad that are not, if Ange can get something out of Gallagher, then imagine what he could get out of, say, a Caicedo or Enzo, who we're saying are elite talents. So we just need, we need like it's the, we need Frank had given credit in his first spell. He had young players, so and the experience helped him. Like, for me, I hope and pray Poch gets it right. I really do, because all this talk. I'm sorry, I know I'm waffling, but all this the things he says about Poch saying that it's a process, give him time, all the stuff people used to defend him.
Go on. Yeah.
Oh,
you're back. You're back.
What much? Sorry, I just had a brain fart. What?
It's all good, bro. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, people.
What did I just say? What did I just say?
Okay, we're talking. Yeah, you're addressing the question.
Oh, You know when you're trying to cling on to or remember what you just said and it just drifts away.
Yeah, it just slips. It just slips.
Yeah,
That's
no,
okay.
it's like again, we speak a lot on these players, but they're not this bad. I somewhat, well, I
Right.
say somewhat, I actually do trust them, but it's like I can't expect individual brilliance from them all the time. If we're gonna say these players are young and they make mistakes or whatever and give them these excuses, then that makes it even more important that we get a coach who can teach them and learn and have them nurtured within a system. Like it can't just be individual brilliance FC all the time. That's not how you win. That's not any sort of sustained football. It's not how you're going to win league titles. It's not how you're going to win cup competitions. Structure, and it's just it's annoying because even though this final shouldn't get bad, I think even if we lose, it'll be 1-0 or 2-1, 2-0. This could get bad.
Right.
Because same happened with Liverpool when we just played them 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That went from bad to worse. It was if Caicedo's isolated in midfield, if Gallagher's running all over the place, if there is, if there's no real structure and like Chilwell just bombed up the pitch and not tracking back, and I don't know. Maybe I'm battling this. Can someone else, Andy, you speak? Because I'm just.
Yeah, Andy, talk to me. What makes Liverpool so good besides the obvious things like the manager, players, system? What gives them like such an advantage? Because look, all those absences that I listed, they got Trent out. That's a very good player. Nunez is doubtful. Salah apparently is doubtful. You've got Szoboszlai out. You've got a bunch of good players, but a lot of people have them as heavy favorites. How?
I think the difference is, mate, you can take Salah out of that side, you can put Jota in and you can do a similar job. You can take Diaz out of that side and you can put Gakpo in his position, or you can put Harvey Elliott, or you can put... They just have an understanding where if a player needs to come out of the side, they can put another square peg in a square hole, whereas Chelsea at the minute, they still don't know the best side because they've got so many players. When they do, that's going to be a frightening thing. I've said this for a long time. I don't think they're clicking in all gears yet. But definitely on the day, Chelsea can give Liverpool a game. And if the likes of Nunez and Salah can't start tomorrow, and Chelsea can be aggressive with their starting lineup, I think Prime was there when I was on Wolfie's feed. I truly believe that Chelsea's got to be aggressive from the start. But if they can stay in the game and have an hour gone and have Mudryk and other players off the bench, they can really pick up the pace in the last half hour, 20 minutes, and catch Liverpool cold, because they've got so many players out that are in their starting lineup, they're then starting to scrape the barrel if they're starting to bring players not scraping the barrel, but they're starting to bring weaker players into the side.
Inexperienced, the young players like Bradley, Kwanzaa.
Exactly. I mean, Conor Bradley's not proving. He looks fantastic. Let's get it right. It looks fantastic. But a cup final, you could end up like a deer in headlights. I've been there. I looked brilliant in the semi-final, and then I played a final in a big pool tournament, and my arse is gone. I didn't look the same person. 100 people looking at me going, "That's not Annie Bell." Well, so it can happen, and that's just a local tournament. Imagine having 90,000 watching you.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, you make a good point about the positions. It just seems like that the New England. I'll do an NFL reference, but dumb it down to the common man who doesn't know about it. Right? Bill Belichick, the Patriots, Tom Brady dynasty. They didn't have. They have obviously Tom Brady, star quarterback. That's solid, right? Pieces around him, they're not always amazing players. Like, he didn't have the best wide receivers. He didn't have the best tight end. He did with Gronk. But you know what I'm saying? It's with that Patriots team and with this Liverpool team, it's like a do your job thing. Next man up. You do your job.
Chelsea, sorry.
Yeah, and it was just it for me. That's what their secret sauce is. Next man up, do your job, and they do it most of the time.
I think Klopp's got so many players that can play so many positions, exactly the responsibility-wise, the same as so many other players. When you're going forward, yes, you'll find the differences in the individuals. Like Diaz will carry the ball further than what Gakpo will. Gakpo will try and link up the play a little bit more. He'll try and drift inside. Diaz will drift inside, but it's selfishly he'll try and hit the ball coming off the wing, etc. You know, Harvey Elliott will drift in from the right hand side like Salah will, but Salah will, be potent going forward. Harvey Elliott won't go into the box as often. The way they do it is brilliant. I mean, as a neutral watching football, you've got to admire them. However, I just think that I hope Chelsea stick with the back four that they had against Man City. I hope they don't fall into the trap of let's put Thiago Silva in with his experience. He's been there, done that, wore the T-shirt. He'll keep everyone calm. No, let them play the four that they had against Man City. They competed well. Okay, Haaland had a few chances that on another day he might have put away, but they competed against Man City. And if they can compete against the Man City, that's it, full strength, more or less, then they can pull a result off against Liverpool, without a doubt. I don't think they will, but in the back of my head, I've just got a sneaky suspicion Chelsea might sneak it.
Fairs. I'll end with this on the final talk. Do you think Salah will start? No? Yes? Do you think Salah? Do you think
Sorry, I thought you were talking to Frank.
Okay.
If he's fit, he'll start. If he's fit, he'll start, in my opinion. Even if he can get 40, 50 minutes out of Salah, I think he'll start.
He might get you a goal in those 50.
That's it. I don't know about Prime, but if you've got Salah for 50 minutes, it's better to have him from the start, set the tone, than it is off the bench and potentially going extra time. May have made some subs later on in the game and then get sneaked in extra time. Let's say, for example, you're 2-1 up. You bring Salah on, try and kill the game off, and Chelsea get a goal. And then you've used all your subs. I know you do get another substitution in the extra time, but for me, if Salah's fit enough to play 50 minutes, he starts. He didn't seem too bad when he came up, did he? I mean, Fabian Shaw came off with his arm in a sling, and he's fine to start. So, I mean,
what's your score prediction?
I've nearly had a think, mate, I'll be honest. 1-1 and then extra.
Oh, you froze up, Andy. He'll be back in a sec. Yeah, I think he froze. Prime, what you got for a score prediction or just other thoughts that you had?
It's all.
1-1 Chelsea on pens.
Chelsea won on penalties. Or we lose 3-0. Or
what's
not
more
3-0,
likely?
3-1.
What's
I don't
more likely?
know. Like I think if we don't get it done within the 90 minutes or within like 75, whatever, 90 minutes, I don't see how we're going to be able to win it in the extra time. Because Liverpool, people can talk about they won't start Salah or anything. Salah and Nunez off the bench against a tired Chelsea team that are going to sit back.
Horrifying.
Exactly. Yeah. Salah, even without Trent, all Salah needs is a moment of magic. Yeah. Or all Nunez needs is to find the shooting boots and they get a goal. I just.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted him gone. You give me any manager, give me.
It's a big risk.
As Tuchel's doing. Bring me Tuchel win this. Bring me Eddie Howe win this. Bring me Michael Carrick win this. It's oh my god, I'm so annoyed. We're throwing away this trophy.
Wow, Eddie Howe. You said that Eddie Howe wouldn't win it.
No, I'm listen. I don't know. Maybe people can say I'm going too far, but
No, I get what you're saying.
Give me like if we had sacked him like a month ago or a couple of weeks ago and brought in Mourinho, we win this final. Like we shit house our way through. Like it's not. I'm not saying Mourinho should come back. I'm just making like it. This is how low Poch has us that we're contemplating these things. It's just it frustrates me so much. It frustrates me.
He either gets it really right or really wrong.
But even the times he's
sorry about that, guys.
Nah, it's all good, Andy.
Oh, no worries. Even the times he's got it right this season, he still managed to fuck it up. That's the thing. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried. Yeah, but I'm talking about like, even if he gets it right, will he keep it right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Will he do something to mess it up? Like,
question for you, Prime.
Yeah.
At the start of the season, obviously, I know what everyone's reputation on about Poch and trophies and etc. Didn't have the greatest start at Chelsea, but if he could deliver you a Carling Cup trophy and get you Europa League, would you not accept that?
What, at the start of the season?
If someone had said to you at the start of the season, you will win the Carling Cup, beat Liverpool in the final, and you will get Europa League, would you take it?
So, like,
I mean, you possibly could get Champions League yet.
At the start of the season, my aim was to finish, like I said, we'd finish between 6th to 8th, and we should target both domestic cup competitions. Like, Steve, you remember I said that.
Yeah, you did.
So, like, us, the fact that we're in this final, even if we win it, you're still failing in the league. I'm not going to let a one-off final change my mind. You're failing in the league. I'm not saying like you're failing in terms of challenging or doing anything great. You're failing at just doing the bare minimum.
I just think when you've got so many players, it's going to take time to get the best out of them. You know, the smaller your squad, you see it a lot of times, the smaller the squad, the more consistency you have. And you see smaller clubs overachieving.
Yeah, but I'm not asking you to do anything great. Finishing eighth is not great. It's just the minimum.
And the problem is, Andy, and you know why he feels like that? Because think about like this, Andy. When Chelsea win a game at the weekend, they start usually in like 11th. So they get bumped up to 10th. The next weekend, they have a game like Brentford at home where they could get to, let's say, 7th, and they draw.
And they draw there.
And then the next weekend, they might get a good draw at Man City, but they still say 10th. So it's like they never capitalize at the moment to move up, because I know what you're thinking and what you'd say. It's like Chelsea aren't that far off points wise. We all agree with that, but the problem is they don't capitalize to get into that 7th place and end the weekend there.
I think what Chelsea have got to also accept is, though, while they've been stalling, a lot of clubs have caught up.
But that's the thing. That's not entirely true. Newcastle went through their poor patch this season. Man United went through their poor patch this season, as did Spurs. But we've been poor for the vast majority of the season.
I'd agree with that. No.
You know what I mean? Being caught up. I mean, caught up is in a long-term race rather than just a form race. I mean, Brighton are above Newcastle. Brighton haven't spent anywhere near what Newcastle have spent in the time since we've been taken over, but they've been consistent. You've got the likes of Spurs. I mean, when we got fourth, you had yourselves missing that season. Liverpool were missing that season. We should have really theoretically getting third because Man United were poor last season as well at times. So Man United have caught up again. They're getting some more consistency. So as much as Chelsea will feel they have an outright obligation to be in the top 4,
No.
Andy, I get what you're saying. No one's saying top 4. I'm just saying, like, you're talking about Brighton, Newcastle, Spurs, Man United. We should be amongst it with you guys, is my point. We shouldn't be this far off.
I think you will be, though, come the end of the season.
No, but that's my point. Wait, you think from the end of the season we will be amongst you guys?
I think at the end of the season, Chelsea, it could be a difference between a couple of games, and it could cost you. Let's say we go into last 3 games of the season and there's 6 points between Brighton, Newcastle, Villa are dropping down the league, and say Spurs, because Man United are catching Spurs. You could be talking about 2 draws. If you don't win them games, it could be the difference between finishing 9th and 6th.
Yeah, but bro, there's already, I think, 6 points from where we are in 10th, and I think 6th.
I'll pull up the table.
So the points are there, but we won't capitalize on that. We need to win. Steve, bring up the table.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Because it isn't as wide as you think. If you go on a couple of, you've only got to beat the teams around you. I mean, you've got to play everybody again as well. So
yeah, I know it's point wise. You're right. It's only like 6 or something points, but it's not just a matter of, so what, Chelsea are on 35.
Right. You guys can see that, all right?
6. All right, Man United are 9 points ahead of us, right? Let's take Man United, who are 6.
Yeah.
It's not just a matter of Chelsea winning 3 games. We would need to win our next, say, 7 unbeaten in order to go above Man United.
So you're looking at 21 points. So that'll take you to 56 points.
We would need to win 7, because winning 7 games would then make sure Man United, in that 7-game run, Man United would lose at least 3, right?
And you play Man United at the Bridge as
Which
well.
means
Man United's got Man City in a couple of weeks as well.
Which would then mean Man United would lose maybe 3 or something, and they would win 4, but it would mean we would then go above them because we've been consistent. And that's my problem. It's not just...
We've seen Spurs drop points quite easily against the likes of Brentford. Was it Brentford last weekend?
We've not taken advantage. It's not just a one-off game. We need to be consistent in order to be there when people drop points. It's not just about, you know what, Chelsea win this game, you lose that game, and we're above you. We need to stay consistent, so when you do lose your games, we can capitalize. We've not done.
I totally get that you need to be consistent, mate. What I'm saying is West Ham have been inconsistent. We've been inconsistent. Brighton have been hitting missy. When they're on it, they're on it. When they're not on it, they can get beat off anybody.
Yeah.
Man United are very similar. Spurs are very similar. And they're the teams that's directly above you. Okay, if you go up the league a little bit further, Steve.
Yeah, sure.
You're not going to be theoretically. I mean, Villa, arguably, you could potentially catch. I honestly think anything between Newcastle could catch. We'd have to go on an amazing run. Don't get us wrong. We are still in the race for top 4. I wouldn't say there's still a possibility for top 4. If we're in that race, I put you guys in that race simply because the strength of your squad. So
you know why I say we're not. We're not going to go on. In order for us to get top 4. So wait, Villa are 4th, right?
Yeah, I'll pull it back up. Yeah.
In order for us to finish, let's say 4th or 5th, we would need, from now until the end of the season, we would need to win basically every game.
Keep in mind this is 14 points. Villa at 49, Chelsea at 35. My math says
there's 13 games left. Chelsea need to win 10 games in order for the top 4. We're not going to do that.
Steve, if you go back to the season, I think it was when we finished 4th. I remember it was about 6 to 8 games before the end of the season. Liverpool was sitting 8th. They were way, way, way gone. They won, was it 8 out of 10 games?
Yeah.
At the end of the season. There's no reason Chelsea can't do that. And if you win 8 out...
Sorry, go on. Sorry, I cut you off. Keep going.
If any one of these sides, all I'm saying is any one of them from 4th downwards to Chelsea, maybe I don't think Wolves will go on that type of run, but Chelsea, any one of them could be looking at finishing top 5. Theoretically, I know we're 10 points off Spurs. We've got to play Spurs again, so there's the 6-pointer.
Yeah.
We've got to play Man United again. We've got to play Chelsea again. I think you've got the top 3 who are, as it stands, in my opinion, a little bit above everybody else. And then you've got everyone down to Chelsea, Wolves.
Yeah, we'll hey.
And I don't see West Ham picking up any form at the moment. They look
shocking.
objective, any cohesion, confidence. But then they've got individual. I mean, how many times has Bowen pulled out a bit of a magic when they've already been well beat?
Paqueta, Kudus. Yeah, it's true.
No, I think if I'm Chelsea, I get it. You know, if I'm used to winning Champions Leagues and I'm in which I've never been, and I look at the league table, I'm thinking the worst. But I bet you Poch is looking at it and telling his players, you can go on a run, and even if you're not picking up a win, don't get beat. You will easily top 7.
Bro, I don't trust Poch to do that. That's the thing.
I know. I get. You're not a lover of Poch, but I think he's good enough for the squad.
If Chelsea climb the table, it will be because Nkunku.
You got it. You haven't seen him at form yet.
We need to, like I said, for us to climb the table and go up, we need to go on like basically title-winning form now. Our target, it's 13 games left. Our target needs to be to win 10 games. I don't trust us to do that.
Brentford away, Chelsea, Newcastle, Arsenal away. That's probably a loss. You'll beat.
Bearing in mind, we haven't got the best record of Stamford Bridge.
No, we haven't won there since 2011. Oh, the brace, the fucking not the Baba Cisse brace.
Cisse.
2012 or something.
So that's going back to, I remember. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Not saying that we are on par with Chelsea if we play well and we've got a fully fit squad. That's a big game, in my opinion. That is a big game. Then you've got Chelsea, Man United.
You'll beat Sheffield.
And then Brighton game. You take points off them teams around you. As much as you're saying you need 10 wins, you might not need them wins. If Brighton get beaten their game before that, then you beat them. You're hopscotching them in the league.
This is a nice end to the season. This is a nice end, except the Villa away. That's a nice
West
end.
Ham, local London derby, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Forest
are a weird one. Yeah.
They're a funny one, especially at home. They can beat anybody at home.
Yeah, 100%.
I honestly think we might be sitting here at the end of the season saying, "Do you know what it is, Andy? You all right?" I hope so.
All right, where do you think Chelsea finish? I got my place.
6th.
7.
I think they finish above Newcastle. I think they finish above.
Yeah. I'm saying 7.
I think we where we are between 9th to 11th, where we'll finish.
That's fair enough.
Always a pessimist there.
Bro, the table does not lie. We're where we are for a reason. The table doesn't lie.
I get that, but
what
you could say that about us when Eddie Howe took over. If someone said where you're going to be in 10 games, you would never have said in top half.
Yeah, but Eddie Howe is a quality coach.
Let's talk about him. Let's talk about him.
Unless you're telling me that like we're gonna sack Poch and bring in a quality coach.
No, let's talk about this Eddie Howe fella. We'll talk about it.
Steve's not his biggest fan.
No, I am a fan. I'm pissed off because he's not learning his lessons. We've got all right. So let's talk about the Arsenal game.
Is this where we're going to talk about Dan Burn?
Wow. Bingo card. You got one. The free space. Look. I think did you two watch the Porto game midweek?
Yeah.
What did you how much stock do you guys take in that game? Do you think Arsenal
beat them at home? Arsenal beat them at home. The referee
I'm saying about Arsenal, like, do you think they'll be a bit slow after? Like, do you think they'll be a bit mentally beat up after that game, or do you think they're gonna wake up against us?
No,
I think I started to say this, Steve. I think I did my prediction on Flawless channel. I think they'll beat you. Like I think I said 3-1 or 3-0.
I don't see the Porto defeat. First of all, the game was. I mean, I don't know if you watched all of it, Steve, but it was hard. It was a hard watch. Porto slowed the game down. Typical Portuguese side. silly little fouls, stopping the game all the time. Pepe literally has taught his team very, very well of the dark arts. Arsenal got frustrated.
Clean match. Pepe played a very
I
clean.
know he personally did, but he kind of passed the mantle on to everybody else in that game, and the referee kind of got he bought a lot of the little tricks that they were selling him. Arsenal didn't play the best because they were rushing. I think they got a little bit too impatient. I fully expect Arsenal to recover. They'll swipe that. Big sides in English football in the past of getting beat at Porto. Excuse me, away. Man United did. I remember Liverpool getting beat against either Benfica or Porto as well. Sporting away. It's not easy to go there, and they've got some good players. I think it'll just be a case. Let's go and prove at home what we're able to do, especially when you go into what happened in the home leg when every Arsenal fan got triggered because the ball was out of play. Then Joe Linton was leaning on him, and then Gabriel scored a goal 2 weeks later, which was exactly the same as Joe Linton's push. Alleged push. So Arsenal's going to have a lot of things that they want to wrongs that they want to correct. That might play into our hands.
It could.
That could play into our hands.
But we manage the situation correctly and the correct personnel are on the field.
Correct. Yeah.
If you play your cards right.
For me, I want to see Isaac start. If he's fit, he's got to start.
Willock as well?
I wouldn't push Willock. Too long of an injury to push in a game that big. If it was the FA Cup game, I would say, yeah, start him. But not the Arsenal game. I want Willock off the bench. If we're still in the game... mate, I said we were speaking the other night. My head tells us that Arsenal's going to beat us pretty comfortably. I've just got a sneaky suspicion. Eddie Howe just seems to have Arteta's not got his number. He just seems to always wind them up in some way, shape, or form every game. When we beat them at home 2-0, that amazing atmosphere. Honestly, that is the best atmosphere I've seen on the telly since I was a kid at St James's Park. That was some game, some performance as well, and the players know that are going out on the pitch that they can beat Arsenal.
Mm-hmm. Or get a draw. We did that last year at the Emirates. I mean, look at this. I mean, Arsenal are unbeaten in the last 11 Premier League home games against Newcastle, with the last season's goalless draw ending a 10-game winning run for Arsenal against us.
Mm-hmm.
The last such defeat against Newcastle was in November 2010. Who scored the winning goal, Andy?
Hang on, when was it? 2010. Oh God!
People say I look like him.
Andy Carroll.
People say I look like him when I put my hair up.
People say you look like Andy Carroll.
Yeah, hold on. Let me do it. Hold on.
And I remember the goal. Joey Barton crossed it in. Goalkeeper came out, flapped it.
Aye. And then
I remember the game.
Koscielny got sent off late too, I believe.
Might have. I can't remember that. But I remember Andy Carroll's goal, definitely.
About Arsenal and Porto. I do expect them to win the second leg and go through. However, Arsenal's record, or Arteta's record particularly, in European knockout ties at home
isn't good.
Is very bad.
It's not great. Yeah, I totally agree. It's not great. But I do think Arsenal will go through against Porto.
Damn,
I think it'll be by the skin of the teeth, but I do think they'll go through.
Yeah,
I actually think Porto advanced because I think they can do exactly what they did in the home leg. They can break up the flow of the game with fouls. They can keep a disciplined, good shape. Though I'm telling you,
you're not going to get another ref that naive. And I guarantee you, Mikel Arteta has made a report to the officials at UEFA and said, "Look what happened in that game," and they'll be on it. Honestly,
possibly, but you can still do. Okay, maybe you can't do full extent, but you can still do a good amount of what they did.
No, they can still, do it when it matters. They're gonna have to pick and choose when they do it a little bit more. That's all.
They have Porto have what it takes to hit them on the break. I mean, they had the best chances of the game. The whole crossbar one was so unlucky.
I'll put it this way to you, Steve. For the sake of football, of the quality for the Champions League, would you not think it would be better that Arsenal go through rather than Porto simply because
I hate Porto. Yeah, I want Arsenal to. Yeah, I don't.
Wait,
we know
what-
who the better side is. We know who the better side is.
What do you mean? In terms of
Yeah.
football?
But who the better tournament team is, that is up for debate.
I mean, if you're talking about like better footballing like team in terms of like who's better record in Europe, then you'd gotta give it to Porto, right?
Yeah, Conceição at Porto has beaten in Europe Juve, Roma, Barca. They've beaten obviously Arsenal. They beat another one over the years. Conceição. There's a few more in there. He's gotten some
How long has
wins.
he been Porto manager? A good few years, has he?
Yeah. Yeah, and they're consistently like a Champions League side. That's what I'm saying. And when you have a Pepe, for me, like with Arsenal, like the whole captaincy thing again, it's like I just don't look at Odegaard as a leader.
Do you know what I noticed that they did? They stopped Odegaard.
Yeah.
They surrounded the guy. They doubled up on Saka and they stopped Odegaard. For me, you stop Odegaard, you stop Arsenal start it. Odegaard's the one that presses the button for Arsenal to then change the pace. He might not be the one that's scoring the goals this season and getting in the assists, but he's the one that's setting the tone for everything that comes afterwards. And if you can stop him, then the problem is then stopping Saka for me. If Jesus is not on that side, they're a different entity. Not that Jesus is the big end and all for them, but when Odegaard's on that side with Jesus and Saka, and Martinelli on the left, they are a fucking handful when they're on it. Night, Pet. Sorry, I'm
So
still
Andy, how can we kind of look at what Porto did? Because our midfield's been a big issue, and Porto's strength in that game was midfield, arguably.
Goes back to what the conversation we had the other night, mate. They bullied them.
Yeah.
Bullied them. Do we have them bullies in midfield at the moment? No.
No.
What happened to I saw a pic. Now, again, I'm assuming it's recent, but is Tonali's ban over?
No, it's not over until it's beginning of next season.
Like September.
Oh, it's a full year. Wow.
Yeah.
10-month ban, which was given to him in November?
November, October, something like that.
Is he allowed to train?
No, he's not. He's allowed to train, but that asked for a license for him to be involved in the pre-season tournament, with it not being competitive football, and they rejected it.
Wow.
So he's not even allowed to. He's allowed to train, but he's not allowed to take part in pre-season games.
Is he allowed like behind closed doors?
Yes, he's allowed to train, keep fit, etc. So he's able to train with the squad. I don't know to what extent or whether he's allowed to train with the first team players. I don't see the benefit of it in certain aspects, like shape, for example. What's the point? Because he's just taking up someone else's experience. But he's able to keep fit and whatnot and train with the club, but not able to play non-competitive games. Nothing. He's not allowed to represent Newcastle United. I think it's the easiest way to put it until his ban goes. So, and I think it's up on I think it's the 6th of July, something like that. I was reading up on it. I think it's the 6th of July. I might be wrong there, mate, by the way.
It's a major miss for Newcastle.
That's a big, 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 big blow to us. I mean, I don't think a lot of people have actually, people are saying, oh, Newcastle's dropped off. We've just literally matched our club record signing, and then we've had him snatched from us for 10 months. So, yeah, we've put a lot of faith in a big player, and then all of a sudden we've had to pick up the pieces and go with a 17-year-old kid who, by all means, has got a lot of ability, but it would have been nice if Joe Willock had been fit and we could have rotated. That's all I'm saying. Or Joe Linton.
Elliot Anderson, too. I feel like
Elliot Anderson as well. He's the, who was the one that we were most...
He had a good
I'm sitting watching you in America when you were doing all the videos with Lee and everything. Elliot Anderson was brilliant in pre-season, wasn't he? He was fantastic in pre-season. Lewis Miley got a goal as well when we were there, and we're thinking, yeah, we might have a player there. But Elliot Anderson, Eddie Howe turned around and said he was the best player in pre-season.
Yeah. No, and he was.
Yeah.
He scored the winner against Brighton last minute, I believe. Played a big
Yeah.
part in the goal.
Got 2 that game, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, he was terrific.
So we're missing, as much as people might not look at it as a named player, or Elliot Anderson.
Someone to make
it
an
makes a
impact.
difference when you can bring Bruno out of a game in a Carling Cup game, for example, bring in a Lewis Miley, put in Elliot Anderson, and not have to work Longstaff, Bruno again, week in, week out. We've suffered because when we've had the games that we should win, we've had no rotation in midfield, and then always, every single week, we've had a new injury, either whether it be Isaac's out, Wilson's out, or we've had one of the two. I don't think we've yet seen Harvey Barnes, Isaac, Gordon, Tonali, Bruno, and Joelinton on the pitch at the same time.
With Livramento, Trippier, Cher, Pope, Botman.
That's a different that especially when if you take one of them off.
That's a really decent team.
Especially if you're winning a game 2-1 at the minute, we take Lewis Miley off, we're bringing Joe White on or Lewis Hall. Whereas if you've got a fully fit squad, you're bringing Elliot Anderson on, Sean Longstaff on. You can't do that at the minute, and that's what Eddie's been trying to say in the press conference. And I know, Steve, that we were having a chat the other night. You were being pretty hard on him, and that was the message I was trying to get across to you. Yes, I know it's not looking fulfilling at the moment, but we've just got to look at the circumstances and go, what more can he do?
Yeah, it's not. What more can you do? This is all I ask.
This is the Dan Burn situation that you're on about. Yeah,
and Almiron. And
yeah, I agree with you on that, and Miggy as well. Yeah, I do agree.
He runs around, that's great, but in the final third, he had one good game, 2 out of 10, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. It's just frustrating. But like you said, the options have been bare bones.
I think the problem we've had is Steve, is once a player has a season like he did last season with the goals that he got, it's very hard to turn around and say to him there, right, we're going to improve on the right side now, we're going to get rid of you. If you'd done that in the summer, before you had that run, then I don't think any Newcastle fan probably goes, okay, it's a shame to see Miggy leave. But if we're bringing in a Diaby or, I don't know, or a Bowen or whatever it be, you accept it. But when Miggy got, 10, 11 goals last season, 6 assists?
Yeah, something like that.
It's very hard to then go, let's sell him now, especially when the ceiling for his fee is going to be less than 40 million. Do you get another right winger in that's going to get you 10 goals, 5 assists for less than £40 million?
Barnes. Actually, no, Barnes is a bit more than 40, wasn't he?
He was 45. No, but you might, but you're going to be very lucky if you do.
Barnes got 15 last year for a poor Leicester team.
But
and
and if he'd stayed up in the Premier League, we wouldn't have paid 45 million.
That's true. That's where you got to get those Yakuba Minta, who's having a decent loan spell at Feyenoord. We got him for cheap, 20, something like that. I mean, he's a kid still. I've liked what I've seen from him for the most part.
Apparently, he's not very positionally inept.
Yeah, he's got some learning to do.
But I'm quite happy with that.
If you give him the ball, he'll make people he'll give people something to think about defending.
That's one thing Eddie will drill into him. Him into him. Going back to I'm sure we were bound to talk to Dan Burn.
Yeah.
Biggest fan, but we have got to look at it's repetitive, isn't it? How many times in the last 3-4 games have we been talking about the same person?
And the midfield also, by the way, it's a great point because you mentioned it, and I sometimes fail to mention it. The midfield cover for Dan Burn don't help. Hence why it worked last season. You had Joe Ellington.
When Joelinton's there with Dan Burn, we've got a massive big block for the switch from one side to the other side, the Dan Burn side. If Dan Burn doesn't win it, Joelinton wins it. And if one of them wins the ball, normally, let's say Dan Burn wins the ball, Joelinton's the one picking up the 50-50. Vice versa. If Joelinton wins the ball, people then being 6'4", Dan Burn's the one that's trying to win the ball. We haven't got that this season simply because we don't have Joelinton. Joelinton is a huge, huge miss in this side.
Yes.
And Dan Burn at the moment is the one suffering. Even Botman hasn't looked as solid. So it tells you a lot. I just think
yeah. Go on. Sorry. Go on.
I just think as much as we can show evidence to say that Dan Burn has been done in situations, I think it's the things that have happened before the play that have contributed to the fact that the attributes of the players that's been next to him, he's been defenseless against it. I mean, the kid against Luton, I keep forgetting that kid's name.
Bene.
The lad, thank you. Not many left backs in the league on that run are going to keep up with them. The strike from Bournemouth Adebayo, for me, Dubravka's got to save that.
A good strike, but yeah.
Good strike. Dubravka should save it. If Pope's in goal, I don't think we can see there. But you could still look back at it as a coaching point and go, you've got to do better there, Dan. The problem is he's backing off that far. He's letting them in the box before he's engaging, whereas before he was engaging before they got in the box. So the chances of conceding goes down when you're engaging outside the box because he had the help from Joe Linton. But, we're asking a 17-year-old or Longstaff, who, in my opinion, is the weakest of the three.
Of course. When
it comes to actual football. But once that game speeds up, Longstaff, when he's on the ball, he's fantastic player. He's more than capable, Longstaff, when he's on the ball. It's when he's off the ball. He covers ground brilliantly, but once the ball's moved around him, I think he just...
Head is spinning.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. This is why I want Livramento in the team. Because we don't have the ideal midfield situation to allow Dan Burn to be at his best, we need to try something different. You could do Trippier left back, Livramento right back. For me, that works. Or because you're trying something different. Because if we start Dan Burn tomorrow, how likely is it that Saka's going to score or a goal is going to happen involving down that right-hand side? Very likely.
I'll say you the other.
If it's Livramento, if it's Livramento Trippier, I'm not saying we're going to win the game or anything. No. I'm saying we need to try something new. There's a problem. The solution has not worked because of this circumstance. Try something new. Otherwise, why should I believe that's going to work? Until we have a Joelinton, Tonali, the midfield, and that, Botman's in some better form and Cher isn't doing Rudiger things going up the pitch. So that Botman has to be a one-man center back show if Trippier gets caught out and Burn is not at his best.
Put it this way, Steve. Let's say we put Trippier left back and show Saka inside like he did when he came on as sub for Burn in the 1-0 win. And we'll put Trippier, so Trippier goes left back for Saka, show him inside. You've got Livramento on the right-hand side. If it goes wrong, okay. If he carries on with Burn and Saka rips him to pieces, how's Eddie Howe then going to go? How are the fans then going to react? Because how many fans are screaming on, rightly or wrongly? That's their opinion. I didn't say I agree, but if it goes wrong again and Dan Burn gets ripped again, then they're going to go. The noise is going to get louder, isn't it? Let's be honest. I'd rather try something and say, see, it still goes wrong if Dan. Do you know what I mean? They're just top players. Saka's a top player. So it doesn't matter if Dan Burn's there or Timo Livramento's there. If he gets the better of them, it's just sometimes it's fate. It's going to happen. Burn could have a brilliant game and Saka cut inside and stick one in the top bins. Is that his fault? No. But if you keep repeating the same thing when everyone's, it was mentioned to him in the press conference 3 or 4 times about Dan Burn. He was asked if he'd had a conversation with Dan Burn about it, about his performances, and he went, yes, I've spoke to him. He said originally no, then he went, yes, I have. And then they went, what was said? And he went, that's between me and Dan. So clearly there's a conversation gone on about a couple of errors. So, but I think his overall performances, Dan Burn, hasn't been as bad as everyone keeps getting on about. It's just unfortunate that our midfield isn't what, when he was showing his good form, this midfield's not the midfield that he showed his good form under.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's very hard to ask a player to adapt.
Yeah.
As much as I'm rambling, I'm sorry, but I just think that I've seen some comments in the last week, Neil and Dan, and it's just not on. It's not.
For me, it's just, the player has been something that the opponents target. We need to try something new.
We haven't adjusted.
If it's Trippier left back, if it's Tino left back, I can at least look at Eddie Howe and been like, you recognize that right now the midfield is not set up for Dan Burn to succeed. We'll bring you on as a whatever.
Try something different. For me, I would be trying to,
That's all it is. But I don't think that'll happen because I do think he is stubborn with this. And that's why I don't have a lot of confidence, because that is something. Me and you both like Ogbene, but Saka is a much better player. Even if he's not in the best of form, he didn't do fuck all against Porto. None of the Arsenal team did.
Just know that he might not touch the whole game barely. One time, pass inside to Odegaard, bend it, or him doing it himself, or even if Dan Burn shows him down the line and he does knock Benny and knocks it past him. That's how to get past Dan Burn.
Kick and run.
Just get a bit of distance between you, a few yards, knock it. If you've got a bit of field to run into, run. That's why they try and knock it past him when he's high up the pitch, because, mate, how do I put it? Well, I don't want this to be reassuring him. Sound as if I'm Neil and Dan Burn. I really don't want to.
It's not no.
We're all human. We have weaknesses. His weakness is that.
Yeah.
And Saka's got that ability.
Yeah, so it sounds like there you go. It sounds like it's a you can.
A justified comment. I don't want to.
Yeah, no, you're not nailing Dan Burn. You're saying this is.
You could do the same to Tino or Livramento if he's not switched on. Let's be honest. As much as Tino's as quick as him, if he's not switched on and he gets in behind him, he's in trouble.
He's not experienced. He's not as experienced as Burn is, and he's not. But for me, Livramento. Why does Anthony Gordon play a lot better when Livramento is on that left-hand side?
Yeah.
Why does Harvey Barnes play a lot better when Tino Livramento?
You got someone to link up with, though, haven't you?
Why does Dan Burn get subbed off after the fourth Luton goal when we're down 4-2? Why does Dan Burn get subbed off when Bournemouth score the Semenyo goal? Livramento comes on, we don't concede, and we come back to recover a point.
Yeah,
it's not great, but these things aren't just freak coincidences.
No, it's not coincidence that in 2 games in a row when you've made a substitution, we're getting back in the game. It's not.
Yeah, and you don't concede. So for me, but we're not going to see that. I don't know, Prime. I
and it's also the threat that Tino. It's not a case of an overlap run from Tino Livramento.
He can drive with the ball himself.
Yeah, he can drive 1-2s, drive through the. Try if they're going to sit with a high line, which Arsenal do. He can, if there's a ball over the top and he's on a sprint, no one's catching Livramento. So we've got to. I mean, he did it against Man United in the Cup. That's what I want to see him do. I want him driving inside.
Thanks.
Or going outside if Gordon's not going to, give us width, because I've kind of got a feeling that we might start with Gordon. I hope we start with Isaac, but I think we might start with Gordon.
I think we will.
So it'll be Barnes, Gordon, Miggy, potentially.
Our player of the season? Yeah, I want to see him play.
It's got to be the player of the season this year. Look at his goal contributions.
Terrific.
Got to be.
Prime, I feel like I haven't heard from you in a minute. You there? Prime? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Sorry, Prime.
What do you make of the whole Dan Burn Livramento thing? Do you from the outside, do you think Eddie should be playing Livramento there or sticking it out with, I mean, or just the general game? What are you thinking?
I rate Tino Livramento. I assumed that he wouldn't start the season, but he would eventually get bled in and replace Kieran Trippier.
Wow.
And when you guys got the loan move for Lewis Hall,
That's another
you
whole
assumed
That's it.
he would be at left back. I look at Livramento. He shouldn't be playing at a position at left back. But again, how do you like? Do you like the injuries and how you guys have been up and down at times? Do you drop one of your leaders in Trippier? I don't know. I would have put Trippier left back months ago and played Livramento at right back, or even played Lewis Hall. But it seems like Lewis Hall, for whatever reason, whether it's like the money situation or whatever, you're just not going to get a game. Livramento he's got to play. I think like a player of that quality, like he's got to play. He's got to come in.
That's my
whether or not it's going to be in this game, I don't know, because it is quite a big game, and you don't want to just throw in the kid against Arsenal.
He's played against PSG before, though. He played at the Livramento when Dan Burn was injured. He's played against what was that run? Milan,
PSG.
PSG.
No, it wasn't PSG. Dan Burn scored in the PSG game.
No, the away game, the 1-1. Livramento played that game. Dan Burn was out. Remember?
Yeah. What was it? Man United, Chelsea. I think the next game was.
He played the Chelsea Cup game.
He did have a. I remember he ripped Mason Mount new backside in the League Cup. He came on as sub. He started the next game. Then I think he came on as sub in the next game after that, and then the Champions League game he started. Was that not Dortmund? Away.
Yeah, he played the Dortmund the full 90. He's played the full 90 against Man United, Dortmund, PSG, Man United again, Everton away, Spurs away, AC Milan, Chelsea away, Liverpool away. So he's played in these big games before.
Big. Then it's not like they're Bournemouth or no disrespect to Bournemouth though, but big games. So clearly he's trusted.
Yeah. But he's not trusted over Dan Burn, and he's not playing. I don't know. I
think it's what Dan Burn offers to the organisation and the defence and
little things. Has been real good lately.
Yeah, the defence has been fantastic lately. Yes,
phenomenal.
Eddie Howe did mention that. He said he did say we're going to have to make changes because we haven't defended, and I do suspect that Timo's going to come in. My head tells us that Burn will start, but my heart says that I'm a Blythe lad. I love Dan Burn. I want him to start. I want him to go and get the winner tomorrow for him because it'll shut everybody up as well. But for the sake of the whole 90 minutes, I just think I'd be a little bit more less nervous if Tino was starting.
Yeah. I don't think it changes the result, by the way. I still would have an Arsenal win down.
Do you guys not think how would you guys set up? Do you think you'll be sitting?
That's the other problem. That's the other problem. How do we set up? That's what Prime asks. How do we set up?
So your back four will be Dubravka's going to be in goal because they're not going to give Karius a game on that. Let's be honest.
Would you?
No.
I'm not
against. If it was the cup game, yes, I would. But you're not going to bring him in against one of the best teams in the league when he's not played since. When was the last time Karius played?
Cup final.
There you are.
Yeah.
Nah, I think that would be a bit silly. So Dubravka's going to start.
Yeah.
Your back four will be Shaw, Botman. I hope Tino, Trippier. I'd go Trippier and Tino, and I'd swap them. I'd have Tino Livramento playing right back, and I'd have Trippier left back. Midfield's going to be, without doubt, I'd be amazed if Willock starts. I'd be amazed. Unless Eddie Howe's had him in his pocket and he's been fit for a little bit longer than what we think he has. It'll be Miley, Longstaff, Bruno. And if you can pick the front three. It'll be Barnes, Miggy, Gordon, unless he risks Isaac, which means Miggy will come out, possibly, or you'll leave. No, I'll make a predict. I think you'll go Isaac, Gordon, Miggy, and you'll have Bonds on the bench.
Isaac, Gordon, Miggy.
Do you guys think you will like? Would you guys copy what Porto did and like sit deep and try and like annoy Arsenal?
So
Anytime we've done this season, we've conceded, mate. We've not been able to sit back this season. We
Yes.
haven't done that well at all.
Why do you think that is?
Midfield.
look at what Porto did. Varela and Nico Gonzalez. They were running and running and running. They would help out Joao Mario. Nico would help out on the right with Joao Mario to cover Martinelli. You're good. And
Yeah.
fucking Varela was covering, helping out Wendell with Saka. They were sitting basically. They were the two holding midfielders, and then they had the Brazilian Pepe is the kind of the drop the shoulder, get it to him and go on the transition through the middle kind of player. But he would do defensive work as well. Conceição was doing defensive work. And Galano was as well. So they're in they just have their players are not like ours. Like because Longstaff, like Andy said, when the game gets quick and it's zipping around, his head's gone, man. Not like a discipline way, and just he looks like he looks lost. Looks lost.
Is that because of it's him, or is that a tactical thing?
It's him.
Or
This is as good as Longstaff will get. This is as good as Longstaff will get. It really is. He's not a high level player. Squad player, good. Our version of Gallagher. Flaws, notable flaws, but a small skill set that he does well. And in certain games, you want a Longstaff, right? But lately, he's been poor. He's been poor. Like Lokonga and Barkley bossed the midfield against us. Christie, Cook for Bournemouth bossed the midfield. Forest, when we beat them 3-2, Bruno took his 2 goals extremely well. But a large, good parts of that game for us had firm control on that midfield. So for me, Longstaff he's not an Alan Varela or a Nico Gonzalez.
I mean, he makes good runs off in midfield. He breaks the lines in midfield, but it's his off. When he gets turned, that's the problem with Longstaff.
And he's not a high-level player. I was just saying that's probably he's not a high-level player. Varela could be. Nico Gonzalez could be. Porto has some really good players.
I like that Galano. I know he scored the goal, but he reminds me a little bit of Paulinho that was at Spurs.
Oh, yeah? See, I didn't watch him. Why?
Prime will probably remember him.
Pepe, Brazilian Pepe as well.
What? Paulinho Spurs?
Can you remember Paulinho at Spurs?
Yeah. Who are you comparing him to?
He reminds me a bit of him, but a little bit of flair with it.
And he's talking about Galano, reminds him of Paulinho.
Galano, yeah, Porto, sorry.
Oh, yeah, kind of. I can see the similarities, yeah.
Took the goal fantastically. And he's got 5 and 6 in the champs as well. So
he nearly scored in the first half as well.
Yeah, the crossbar. That's so unlucky. But
yeah,
for me, if we're going to somehow get a point in the game, Dubravka's going to have an exceptional game, a.k.a. what happened against like Liverpool, where he made 12 saves, I think. Still conceded 4, though. That's the problem because we can't defend.
Yeah, which is going back to what we were saying before. That if we try the low block, we are asking for trouble because in order to do the low block, you've got to cover the spaces in front of your 2 centre-halves. And the problem we have is as soon as the ball goes out wide, when we've been sucked in for a few minutes and we've been absorbing pressure, it seems as if eventually the concentration levels just drop. The intensity, I don't know if it's because Joe Linton's size or whatever it be, he just wins more balls in the air and we get out a little bit more or whatever it be. But the amount of times that this season where Dortmund's a prime example. I know Jolan played, but if the ball's played to the edge of the box, we are conceding too many goals from either a pass from the edge of the box, someone tapping it in the box, or someone getting to the edge of the area and slicing it like at a Bournemouth goal. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just hope. I mean, Lewis Miley. We were talking the other night, weren't we, Stephen? I said, me and my daughter were looking. Lewis Miley had more tackles in midfield than the other two midfielders and two wingers put together against Bournemouth. When a 17-year-old's getting 6 tackles and your other two midfielders and two wingers between them are not getting 6, you've got a problem.
Yeah. Exactly.
Longstaff didn't have a tackle in the whole game.
Yeah. He was terrible. He was a non-factor in the game. Luton game was the same thing. He scored a goal, 2 goals, but Barkley
The Fulham game? Look at the Fulham game in the cup. He was awful.
Oh, wow.
Great finish. Don't get us fantastic. I'd love to be able to finish a goal like that, but just,
Yeah. So, I mean, that if we are to do anything against Arsenal, yeah, it's gonna have to come from Gordon. Gordon is fearless. I like his grit factor as a player. I can see getting a goal. Just get him the ball up the pitch somehow, and then we have a chance. But I don't know. What's
score
your
prediction, Steve?
4-1 Arsenal.
4-1.
Unfortunately,
You know what it is? I'll back you up on that one.
because Andy,
I hope
like
we're
you
both
said,
wrong, by the way.
I do too. But Andy, what did we say? We can't low block. That's a problem because we can't play Arsenal at football, man for man. So what are we gonna do?
Probably, I hope both of us do a feed on Monday, a stream on Monday, and we'll both look very, very silly.
Of course. But like going into it, it's like, well, we can't low block, and we can't play a man for man at football. We're gonna have to do a mid block, and every fucking time on the counter, we're gonna have to score every time.
We've got to make the most of the times from a break, which has been. Willock's massive at that, though. Willock, the amount of XG that will go up on our counter attacks with him in the side, and I'm sure that's what Eddie Howe gets at when he's talking about him in press conferences. Well, he offers something that no other midfielder in our midfielders in our ranks can do, in my opinion. And I think Eddie Howe's alluded to it in the past. His energy is. And he can pick. I mean, his pass for Isak against Spurs last season is just filth. It's just filth.
Yeah. Hey, big up Ryan. Big up Ryan.
Big up Ryan.
Prime, what's your score prediction before I close out here?
Yeah.
Arsenal, Newcastle.
Arsenal, Newcastle. I predicted, I think, was it 3-1 or 3-0? Yeah, I think
whatever you want to
Arsenal
go.
will bounce back. The game against Porto, they'll have a bit of hump about them. I think they'll just go out looking for blood. Sorry, Steve.
Hey.
I'm going to change, Steve. I'm going to say 3-2 to Arsenal. 3-2.
Hey.
I see we're scoring. I do. I can see we're scoring.
I don't doubt that we can attack. Notice how this whole time when we're talking about Newcastle, we're not like who's going to score us goals.
Yeah.
Who?
I think that's because we're not sure whether we're going to have a striker or not.
Right. Our problem is defense and midfield.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Ryan's going with 2-1 Arsenal, 3-1 Arsenal. Hopefully Newcastle getting a result. That's all we got, hope. So, we'll do some quick Premier League predictions here, then close out. I got to go out with a friend.
No, we need to start doing, Steve. We need to start making a note of these. At the start of the season when we do these videos, and then at the end of the season, see we can put 20 quid in each or something, and then find out who's top of the.
You are correct, Ryan. Hopefully.
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah, he said he's been in training, full training all week. So the likelihood is he could start. I just doubt he's going to do more than 65 minutes. That's all.
Do you not think? Say if the game's close. 60 minutes gone, 65 minutes gone, 0-0, 1-1, even if you're 1-0 down,
Yeah.
Bring on Isak. Should that not be the
Yeah.
game plan?
Yeah, because we had the FA Cup midweek.
That could be another reason for Isak not starting, because he's going to prioritise the cup because it's the only possible sign of silverware this year. And he said that, we've got to push for silverware. So that's why I think I hope Isak starts, but I think Gordon will.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, we'll do predictions and close out here. Palace Burnley. I'm saying 1-1.
Ooh.
No,
Now, I remember you at the start of the season saying that Burnley were going to be more than capable of staying up this season.
Yeah, and they haven't. They just haven't. Yeah.
I'll go 1-0 Palace.
I remember being one of the Steve's not the only one. So many fans bought into the Burnley hype with company, and I remember telling people, you can't come to the Premier League with a championship side and think you're going to play like Man City. We've seen Norwich do this. We've seen so many sides do this, and he will learn. And also, I don't really rate Eddie Howe, or not Eddie Howe. I don't rate him as a manager.
Company.
Also, I don't rate him. I think
you quite like the new Palace manager, don't you, Steve?
I like Glasner a lot. Yes,
Glasner's great.
What's your prediction, Palace Burnley?
I think I predicted a draw. I think I said 2-2 draw.
What do you? Oh, 2-2.
I think no, that didn't make sense. I think I said draw. I think I said 1-0 or something because it's his first game, Glasner, and they have no Elise and Eze.
That's facts. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Them two are massive for them, aren't they? I mean, let's be honest, two top players in a side.
Oh, Newcastle. Do you not think you guys should target Mitchell?
I didn't take target.
I left back.
I'd rather go Rico Henry or Nori at Wolves.
Yeah.
I like Nori a lot. Nori is quality, man. Liverpool.
I mean, if you want to bring another English player in, definitely. But
Rico Henry, yeah.
Rico Henry.
Villa Forest.
I'll let you go on that first frame on that one.
3-0 Villa.
I would love Anthony Robinson, 100%. I like Robinson. I think I said 3-0 Villa. Yeah, 3-0 Villa. I'll go with that. 3-0.
I'll go 3-1.
3-1. Man United Fulham. 3-0 Man United for me.
Has Broja actually signed for Fulham, and is he able to play?
Yeah, he's signed in January. Yeah, he's on loan.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Fulham.
Yeah, I hope you're right. But remember last time we did these predictions, Andy, and I said Man United would win against Villa. I just know they're gonna. Yeah.
Paulinho suspended as well.
Oh, yeah. Okay, there you go. 3-0 then. That's their midfield.
Yeah.
That's their midfield.
Yeah. Did not realize that.
That is their whole.
Did not realize that.
3-0 Man United.
I'll go 1-1 then.
Wow.
I'm not picking Man United to win a game. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
Not the wife would. No.
Oh, you don't like Man United?
My wife's Man United, yeah, and I hate Man United.
Who the fuck does?
I don't have a problem with Man United. I like.
I hate Man United more than I hate Sunderland.
Wow.
So
yeah, I agree with
Is that because when Newcastle were great, they were competing with United for the title?
But we were never great because them bastards got it. So
yeah, true.
We're just going to be remembered for being the entertainers rather than the entertaining winning team.
Yeah.
Everyone hates
that. Yeah. I hear them.
Brighton sorry, Prime. What was your prediction, Man United for?
Oh yeah. 3-0. No Paulinho. Man United have it.
I agree. 3-0. Brighton, Everton, 4-0 Brighton for me.
2-1 Brighton.
Brighton Everton. 2-0 Everton.
Spurs. Okay. Warriors going 2-1 Brighton. Yeah, I just don't rate Everton. They have a
I agree 2-1 Brighton. I think Everton are good at set pieces and they're good in areas. I think they might get a goal, but I think Brighton will beat them.
Yeah. Bournemouth, Man City.
There's so many scores you could pick for that game, though, isn't there? I mean, let's be honest.
2-2.
Definitely wouldn't be 2-2.
Well, you said there's a lot of scores. I'll go 2-2.
I'm gonna go. I like Bournemouth under the new manager. I do.
Hey, that's
I just whether they're good enough to keep Man City out.
Man City look shaky. Man City look a bit shaky recently.
4-1.
Okay, 4-1 Man City. 4-0, 2-0. Yeah, I'm going 2-2. What about you, Prime?
6-0.
Yeah, don't blame him. It could
not
be.
6-0. No, 6-1. 6-1.
Yeah, all right, fair. Arsenal, Newcastle, I'm saying 4-1. Arsenal. Andy said 4-1, right?
3-2. 3-2.
Prime, what did you go with? I forget for some reason.
Oh, Arsenal, Newcastle.
Yeah, Arsenal.
Sorry. 3-0 Arsenal.
Okay, fair. Wolves, Sheffield United. 3-0 Wolves.
4-0 Wolves.
Draw. 2-2.
Wow. Hey, to be fair, the Wolves fan, my boy Ryan's in the building, and he said something up here. We've got Sheffield United. These are the games we struggle in. Remember, let's look at Wolves real quick. They do
like to get his opinion on Gary O'Neill, man, because I'm impressed by him. I don't know about the Wolves fans, but I'm impressed by him.
Like, look at this. You beat Chelsea and you beat Spurs away. Losing
they're in every game, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
In every, I know they got beat 2-0 off Brentford, but they were in the game.
3-2, 1-1, 3-0, 4-1, 2-1. And then they get that's the thing right here. That's the thing right here. Losing 3-0 to West Ham. Like, the fuck? That was West Ham before they went.
Is Cunha still out for them? Cunha's out for a few weeks, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Cunha.
Yeah, I like him. I still think that they'll have enough to beat Sheffield, without a doubt. They cannot defend. They can't low block. They can't counter. They are probably. I mean, it's potential. They're saying no Premier League teams conceded 65 goals at this point in the season. They carry on conceding at this rate, they'll be over 100 goals by the end of the season.
So Cunha will be back after the international break in March, I think. Hwang is back though.
Hwang's a decent striker.
I like Hwang.
Yeah.
They're doing amazing, Andy. Way better than I expected.
When he was on Sky Sports, he impressed us as well. The way he doesn't overcomplicate. I mean, we watched Jesse Marsh on Monday.
Oh
God, that was so cringe.
I forgot that.
He was. I mean, you put them two side to side talking about tactics. I know who I would listen to. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And regardless of what Jesse Marsh has done in his career before, and Leipzig and RB Salzburg and all that malarkey, but Gary O'Neill, he's very tactically aware. And do you know what it is for a winger? He just knows how to create goal scoring opportunities. He was a decent. People underestimate how good of a crosser of the ball he was and passer of the ball. If he can get that message over and go, just get these type of balls into the box, which he does. They're direct, they're organised. Everyone knows the responsibilities. They're a good side. If he can add a couple of bits of quality to that team, they'll be on par with Brighton next season.
Yeah. Hey, if you keep Pedro Neto, who is
they'll lose Neto. Yeah, they'll lose him.
How much would you pay for Neto?
Well, you've got to compare it to what's everyone going for around him. If Harvey Barnes is what's Harvey Barnes' stats, Premier League goals and assists to Neto's, it's got to be a little bit better, hasn't it? But we got Harvey Barnes on a little bit on the cheap.
Neto is the assists. He's got like 8 or 9.
it's his ball carrying skills for me, depending on what type of
Left
team
foot,
you're
right
playing in.
foot. Left foot, right foot, smooth, cuts
If
in.
he was in
cuts
the Man
out.
United team, Anthony wouldn't have a look in.
Well, he already doesn't.
But he wouldn't. He would be back on a plane to Brazil because he wouldn't have a chance if Neto was in that side. So I think, but that's not the market. Let's be honest. 50 ish.
I would pay 70. I can't lie. I think Neto
I
is.
think yeah.
I like
Well,
Neto.
Pedro Neto.
Yeah, what do you think of Neto, Prime?
I mean, between 60 to 80, but and that's only going off of what the market is and what other similar young wingers have gone for, like Barnes and Gordon. However,
Yeah.
he is vastly injury prone. He's very, and
There you go.
if you're telling me, say Man United have to spend, say 80 mil on him just for him to play about 10 games or whatever a season, or not 10 games, 10, 15 games a season or whatever. That's not really worth the money.
I think he may go up Man City.
Man City.
Who? Neto? Oh, he would be.
He would suit the way they play. He'd be a brilliant Mahrez replacement. However,
I think
City can get away with it because the way Pep rotates, the injuries wouldn't be that much of a problem. City, you can get away with it. But Man United, I think they need to be careful how they actually spend their money now.
Yeah. City are interested in Neto. There you go. That says it all, don't it?
I like Eze. I like those creative players, and they can make the step. I mean, could Newcastle? Neto would be good for Newcastle, but again,
Mickey replacement, without a doubt.
It's the injuries that's the problem. You're better off.
But I wouldn't be breaking the transfer record for him over Isaac.
The thing is, Newcastle should get you got Trincao at Sporting, at Lisbon. You've got Conceição at Porto.
Conceição was good.
Yeah, you got talented left-footed right wingers in Europe playing that are going to be much cheaper than spending money on Elise.
Conceição was good against Arsenal, by the way. He was megging guys for fucking.
I'll put this to you. Would you take him over Bowen?
Who?
Jared Bowen at West Ham.
Over Neto?
Which one would you? If Bowen, what did Bowen go to West Ham for? It was what 40 plus million, wasn't it? Plus he's improved since he's been at West Ham. So maybe I've undervalued Neto a little bit there. You could say 60. I think I'm a big fan of Bowen, but I think Neto's probably ceiling's a little bit higher than Bowen's.
I would take Jared Bowen just because
goals
positions.
Like you look at the system Liverpool have had. Where they were able to maximize Salah's goal output. I think you can do kind of a similar thing with Bowen. Now, I'm not saying he's going to score like 30, 40 in a season, but
you can get 25.
Prime, I agree entirely with you. I think you're bang on. The guy can play as a false 9, he can play as a 9. Yeah, I agree.
Now, Neto obviously is amazing. He's creative, and you can say probably he's the better player. But I'm not spending that kind of money on someone who's injured. Like Steve knows this. I'm sick of injury-prone players.
Yeah.
So I'd rather get Bowen and have him be important to my system than spend it on Neto.
You got 11 goals. You got 11 goals this year in the Prem.
Playing off as a striker. I find it weird. I don't like that he's playing as a 9.
Yeah, he constantly score. A lot of the time, though, Bowen's scoring goals when West Ham are getting battered.
Aye.
Why
and he's scoring good goals as well.
Bowen would cost a lot from West Ham.
Bowen will cost a lot of money. And you know what it is? He's probably not even going to snip at the England squad.
Yeah.
When you look at how many goals has Rashford got this season in the Man United shirt? 2, 3? At most.
Bowen suits England. How Southgate wants goal scoring inside forward.
Direct.
On that right hand side.
Yeah. Not that I'd have Bowen starting for England, but I mean, if you're picking players on form and who deserves it, Bowen's ahead of Rashford.
I agree with this, by the way. Bowen as a finisher, bang on. Neto,
I agree. Neto's ceiling's higher as an all-round player. Definitely. He can do it. Yeah.
Unlock a game. Exactly. Nah, Neto
can as well. I mean, he could bend one in from 28 yards or 30 yards.
Yeah. No, 100%. Hey, they're better than fucking Miggy.
That's the hardest game to predict, I think. West Ham Brentford.
1-1. 1-1.
I'm gonna go 2-0 Brentford.
I can see that.
I'm gonna go 2-1 West Ham. Antonio's back.
Which is funny because on the Sarcasm City predictions, you said 4-0 West Ham.
I'll be so real, Steve. I don't remember my predictions, but yeah, okay, I'll go 4-0. I agree.
But the lad's allowed to change his mind, isn't he?
I don't remember my predictions. But yeah,
my missus changes her mind 5 times in a restaurant while she's ordering, so he's allowed to change his mind for 2 seconds.
How do you know I said 4-0?
I just remember it working my night shift, and I heard everybody say like a normal score for that game, and then you're like, 4-0 West Ham, and I'm just like, huh? With the way they've been playing.
If West Ham turn up, they can batter Brentford 4-0. That is the, Paquetá has, but if he's back, not that I was aware of that, I'd still go Brentford. I just think that I just like Brentford. I like the manager as well. Like I like him. I like Moyes as well. To be fair, I mean, I remember years ago I actually said that before we got Eddie Howe, they can't get Moyes.
Oh,
and I got lynched on NFTV for it. I mean, lynched.
Yeah.
But
Andy, I mean, you're not on Twitter, but there's been a lot of discourse.
I'm on, but I wouldn't say I'm active.
Discourse amongst West Ham fans, speaking about how David Moyes should go at the end of the season, which I guess is fair enough. But they are diminishing the fact that he's won a Conference League for them last season, saying that, well, the Conference League was only just created. If any other West Ham manager had been in the tournament, would have won it as well. What are your thoughts on David Moyes and what he's done for West Ham?
Right, if it was your club and it wasn't Chelsea, let's say it, you're not on the level of Chelsea. You're on a Brighton stage or whatever you are. You're a mid-table side. You want a manager that you know that if they're in a battle at the bottom, they can get you out of it. He's been there, done that with Everton, and he's also been at not the top, but he's battled. He's getting good results against the top sides when Everton were 5th for consecutive seasons. With limited resources as well, you've got to look. I mean, the players that he spotted, Kevin Morales, Tim Cahill, the Jeleviches of this world, and whether his football is a little bit dated, I think, is the question. I think that's a problem that Moyes has. Is his football a little bit too dated? But I personally, if I was a club like Burnley right now and David Moyes was available, I'd be sacking company and I would be hiring him. Simply because he's a safe pair of hands. And
because they were talking about how
sorry, comment.
Yeah, they were talking about how sorry to interrupt. They were saying how Alan Pardew played when he was West Ham manager, played better football. And I was thinking but what did he actually do though?
Exactly.
Like last season, won the Conference League. The season beforehand, they were in the Europa League semi-final.
How many times did we watch Everton back in the day? When we were looking at the side that 1-0s, 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 1-0s constantly, wasn't it? Everton, that was their favourite score. That means that he's able to keep. If he's got the personnel, he can keep you tight at the back. And if you give him the chance to get some quality up top, he can get you results. I mean, Newcastle would have bit your arm off for Europe. I don't care what any Newcastle fan says. If they don't say that we would have we weren't envious of West Ham last season, considering that such a good season that we had last year, getting Champions League football. If we could have swapped that and had a Europa Conference League trophy and Europa League football the next season, I think a lot of Newcastle fans would have taken that. I would have.
Every single one. Nobody should be. No, absolutely nobody.
As much as, for the growth of the club, you need to be in the Champions League.
I want to win something. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's for selfish reasons as a fan. I would rather have the West Ham situation. If I'm an owner of the club, I don't want that. I want to get in the Champions League because you need it, because your commercial rights and the money that comes in because the back of it. But if you've got the finances behind you and you go and win a Europa League Conference League trophy, if you can attract players, then I still think we could have gotten the Tonales and whatnot if we'd done that. I'm quite envious. Getting over the line is a hard thing to do. Moyes has how many finals? That was the first final he's won. I think he's had 4 finals. I think I might be wrong there. 3.
Been to a few.
Going again.
I don't remember him in the final, Abby. But
he's had a final with Everton.
FA Cup or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait. That final with Everton was that was against Chelsea, right? That was him.
I think so.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, that was David Moyes. He's been around for a very long time. Wow.
He had them in a playoff for Champions League in 2011 against Villarreal. They lost.
Yeah.
Villarreal had a bloody good side back then as well. Can I just add as well? But this isn't trying to answer the question that popped up on the screen there. Would I take Moyes at the end of the season? No, I wouldn't, because I don't. If I was going to the games, I wouldn't be fulfilled. I'd rather watch Eddie Howe's type of football.
But also, Newcastle are past that. If this was still you guys under
Mike
Ashley, then yes, you would need him. You're past the stage of Eddie Howe. You would need a David Moyes. Moyes for England manager. I don't think you'd ever take it.
I would love Conceição. I would take.
I don't think the English FA would ever have a Scottish manager. Personally,
yeah, but would you have him as manager?
Would I have him over Southgate? Yes. Would I have him as the next England manager? No, because I think there's better out there. But I wouldn't have. But if you give us the choice now of him or Southgate, I would take Moyes.
Yeah.
If Moyes was given a year before a tournament, the problem is you're asking us this now. There's only 3 games before the tournament, so Moyes is going to have like 5 minutes with them before they go into a big tournament. We've seen what happens
after the Euros.
No. Give it 10 years. 5, 8 years. If the next manager doesn't work out in England or in a peril situation, if you want a stopgap, yeah, okay. I like Moyes as a club football manager. I just think that he's able to work within, first of all, with what he's given in a squad, and then he knows the little pockets of where he can add a little bit of quality to get the best out of his squad. I mean, you speak like Seamus Coleman, who is renowned as one of the best guys in football. He's got nothing but good words to say about Moyes. Seamus Coleman, Leighton Baines as well, probably.
Yeah.
Alan Shearer was talking about him 2 days ago on a podcast when he was doing his coaching badges, and David Moyes was the guy that was his mentor, and he said he couldn't speak highly of David Moyes as a person.
Yeah.
So it just there's something about him that I just think you're a steady set of hands. If he was to take over the Newcastle side when Eddie took over, he would have kept it up. We might not be where we are now, don't get us wrong, but he would have kept it up. When I suggested that we got him, we didn't have the takeover.
Yeah.
We were clutching at straws. We were desperate. You know what I mean? We were probably thinking, is Sam Allardyce going to take over? You know what I mean?
I mean, you guys might not be on the path of Champions League right now, but you would be in Conference League, Europa League conversation to win it.
I just think if we can get some Euro, you don't want Europa Conference. I think as the owners, they don't want that. I think
Right.
they'll see that as a failure. But I'm not too sure of the rules. If we were to get to a final of a cup and finish in the Europa League conference spot, does that not promote us to the Europa League?
Depends on who wins the FA Cup, who wins the Champions League, who wins Europa, and who wins Europa Conference League if they're
Yeah.
above.
So
fifth,
Liverpool or
sixth,
Chelsea are going to finish in the top. Sorry, let's say Liverpool win it.
win what?
Liverpool are going to finish in the top 4. So
Because
I
Liverpool
don't
could
know how
win
you do
FA
it.
Cup, they could win Europa League, they could win Carabao Cup all this season.
Personally, I would take Europa League in a cup final, and then we'll see what happens in the cup final. But I'm sick of cup finals as a Newcastle fan because it's a bit like when you're on a promise from the missus. It's just not going to happen.
It's a
What did
letdown.
Newcastle not have?
That's my experiences as a Newcastle fan. I've got, getting picked up for the cup final against Man United, then Arsenal. Then we had a massive game against Chelsea in the semi-final. We played brilliant and got knocked out. We should have won it that year. And then obviously, Man United. Can we just add as well, the next 3 times we played Man United, we're unbeaten against them.
Yeah. In the league, of course.
And then you go back to the Community Shield as well, getting beat 4-0 off them. Next time we play them, we'll beat them 5-0.
In the league.
In the league, you get 3 points for it.
Yeah.
You can get a trophy. As much as the people would say, well, the Community Shield's not really a trophy, but it is if you're a Newcastle fan, it is.
Yeah,
It's a
day
trophy.
out of Wembley, yeah. Better than nothing. Yeah.
So, yeah, I just want a trophy, mate. I'm 38. I want a trophy.
Facts. And yes, Ryan, you do have us next, and I'm terrified.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a tough game.
We'll talk about that next week.
Regardless of our squad, will it playing fully fit? That's a tough game.
Yeah. So, yeah, not looking forward to that one. So, look, big up everybody. Thanks for joining. Chloe had something with Archer. Nothing bad. I think he was just making some noise or whatever. But big up everybody for joining. Almost 2
Take care,
hours.
everybody.
Some good football. Look, Prime, best of luck. I do hope you win, actually, because I would love to see the Scouse tears. That would be fucking hilarious. So, look, everybody, take care. Have a good night. Enjoy the footy this weekend. I damn will be. I'm damn sure I will be. So, big up, everybody.